All right, guys, here's one for the Not My First Rodeo department. My lovely wife, Rochelle, who is our lead designer, has given a design proposal to a client, and we've actually changed now to getting paid in full for our design proposals upfront. Okay, so upfront. So basically, why do we do that? Because we're like honest and genuine people. We're going to do the work, right? So we're just going to do the work. However, the reason why we've changed to this plan now where we basically take full payment upfront for that design proposal, and that could be like, it could be $1,500, it could be $2,000, it could be as much as say $5,000 or $6,000 depending on the project, right? So it's not, in the grand scheme of renovation, it's relatively not a lot of money. So, however, this particular, I won't call them a client yet because it's a bit annoying, is the clients, this client was like the last client we basically would just take like half for the deposit, like the deposit on the proposal, and then the other half is due at the end before we present the proposal. So most people understand that basically you take the payment before you present the proposal, the document with all the drawings and whatnot, because there's risk that you might not get paid. So in the Not My First Rodeo department, this particular prospect is like, we'll pay the final amount when we get the proposal. And you just shake your head. You just shake your head. You know, it blows my mind that people think like this, and or think that we would necessarily fall for this. So when we do the proposal, the payment at the end basically triggers the last bit of work on the proposal, which is just kind of formatting everything and putting together a nice tidy. So a lot of the work has already been done, but that last chunk is still yet to be done. It's not like we're holding on to this proposal waiting to give it to them once they give us the money. It triggers the next level of work, which finishes off the proposal, and then it gets presented, because at that point they can take that to whoever. So this client is being like rather difficult, and is saying, oh, he's lost trust in us because now it's, dude, you think you're being crafty, but we've seen this before, right? Not our first rodeo, right? So clients or people who act like this are the ones who are even bring this up. This is a major red flag for a contractor. This is where we know what you're about to do and we're not falling for your game. So if you want to go off and basically badmouth us or do whatever, or cry a story like, oh, you feel like you've lost trust. Listen, dude, we've been here before. You are painting yourself into a very precise corner of the type of client that you would be, or that you are. And then for me as the contractor, knowing this from the designer, who just happens to be my wife in this case, there's no way in hell I'm gonna work with you. No way in hell. Right? Because if you're pulling this kind of crap now, what's it going to be like later? What's it going to be like when we've got your house demoed? What's it going to be like when you're like holding a payment midway? This is why we have our progress payments scheduled the way that we do and our contract written the way that we do. It's because of people like you, right? So as a contractor who, again, not my first rodeo, who understands these things about people, right? About people. And I would also say about cultures of people, right? Is that when you throw up these actions that are red flags to us, red flags never go down, right? Red flags never go down. And so that's why our contract is the way it is. That's why we take payment the way we do. It's because we want to avoid the ick, right? I call it the ick. The clients worry about the contractor ick, like, oh, are they gonna do the work? Are they gonna finish on time? But us contractors, our ick is, are you gonna pay us? Is there money to be paid, like available to be paid? And then are you gonna pay us on time? Because if you don't, you are creating so much headache for us that it is not worth it. There is more work on this planet to be done than there is to be dealing with people like that. Little rant, but this is like this falls under the Not My First Rodeo department. And to all the contractors out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Leave me a comment below. And yeah, so, you know, if you're a good client and you're gonna pay, then you don't have any problem with those parameters. It's the ones that say they do that are going to be the problem.